All right, this is day one of building an isolated drum enclosure. I hope this works. Got some lumber, painted my first board. Now it's not actually day one because I already had the Lexon polycarbonate delivered to the church. Cut my hand, it was a whole ordeal, filmed none of it. But I did want to say how challenging it was to carry the glass at first until I remembered where I used to work up at the seminary in the construction department. There were these big glass suction cups. And then I also went to Lowe's just to get some supplemental suction cups, and they worked like a charm. It's so much stronger than you would think. Like these little ones right here, I thought they would only work like if I peeled the plastic off of the glass, like I didn't want it to slip out. But you could climb up a sheetrock wall with these. It would rip off the sheetrock before it would let go. That's how strong these things are. Pretty cool, feel like a superhero. Anyways. But here's a piece of scrap. It's like durable, 100 times more durable than glass. It bends, so we're gonna be able to make kind of like an aquarium for the drummers, which is the most important thing. Right now we have kind of this makeshift drum cage. It's worked fine, but it's open back, a lot of cymbal bleed, and we're having problems mixing well just because we can't compete with the drums. So we need a fully enclosed drum cage, and I want it to look better. And it's gonna be all glass so we can actually see the drummer, and it's gonna be brand new, it'll look good. And I hope I haven't made any critical errors in figuring out exactly how we're gonna do this. I have watched a bunch of different videos and they've been super helpful. But in every video, it's always like, well, we were gonna do this, but we made a mistake and had to adjust. So I'm trying to not make any mistakes, but I probably will. I mean, that's just how things go. There's always unforeseen things, but I've drawn this out, thought about how I wanna do it, thought about how it's gonna look, thought about the easiest way to build it, but also be able to take it apart because we're gonna be remodeling our worship center in 2 to 3 years. And so I wanna be able to disassemble this as easily as possible, if needed, when it's needed. So yeah, follow along the journey. Step one today, Carter, my intern's coming over. It's gonna help me paint. I'm gonna go find my dad at a job site somewhere to use his jigsaw to cut a curved piece, a couple curved pieces, and also do some ripping that I have to do. And I will explain all of it when I see you. Here's a piece of plywood with the arc drawn on it. You definitely can't even see it, but there are lines on there. This represents the middle of the glass, and then we wanted like a 4-inch top and bottom plate. And there's an intersection where it's gonna be straight. So one of the things that was difficult was trying to figure out the arc of the curve. I saw some things online that were like, oh, you can determine what you want, but I didn't know if I wanted my arc to be like more elliptical or more out. If it was more out, I would think I would gain more square footage inside the drum cage. So we're here determining the arc of what this drum cage is gonna be. We originally were gonna do this, but I want to bring it up here and have less of an ellipsis to gain more valuable square footage on our platform. But then it would also push my connecting points, which are 2x4s, in the view line. So what I decided to do is I knew I had a 10-foot piece of Lexon. I didn't want to cut that piece. I would choose to keep that 10 feet and then cut the sides to fit. And so 10 foot to 10 foot, I would just go like this and squeeze it until it got into our 90 inches. I knew I had 90 inches, and then let the arc be what it would be. And I tested it a few times. I laid down a piece of that PVC shoe mold that I cut exactly 10 feet. Actually, I think it was like a 12 foot, but I marked what 10 feet would be so that I could make some screws and draw a line and get an arc. And I made sure it was over 10 feet because there's this kind of thing where if you take something like this and you just bend it, their circumference is tighter at the peak than it would be on the sides. The sides almost straighten out. So I had to get it longer and force it so that that circumference would be the same all the way around. It's one of those things that you don't really think about until you get into it, but I knew I didn't want it to be like this. I didn't want it to be like that. I wanted it to be round all the way. That's how you do it. And that's my idea. We're gonna have a top and bottom plate just made out of plywood, and then we're going to have 2 full pieces of plywood be the actual top with a scutcheon. Is that what it's called? Oh man, that word just popped in my head. But basically a 2x like this that we're going to route out a little bit on each side somehow for some support down the middle. and also to hang a bar where we can put up the microphones, maybe some lighting, stuff like that. Carter, I can't remember to video anything, but we just did the table saw thing. There's my dad. Look at him right there. We did the dado. What? Not really. What is that? The word scussion? Rabbit. What's a scussion? That's plumbing. Don't worry about me. 2 months later, I know what I was thinking. I was thinking astragal. An astragal, like a T astragal that goes down 2 doors. That's what I was thinking. Scussion is not in the discussion. And then we got those. I'm gonna cut those off. You'll see it all later. So now we gotta sweep up because we're at somebody's house. All right, so Carter's here putting on the coat of paint on our framing boards. So this stuff right here, for those who are watching, is the PVC so that it bends without breaking, because wood would bend, but it would have a knot in it. So this is like consistent all the way through. And it's gonna be the trim for the outside of the glass to kind of act like a stop. So some people in the videos actually used a router and routed out a groove, and I just didn't want to do that. Because some people said it was really hard to get it in there. So I'm just gonna curve this, well the plan is, I'm gonna curve this around and then use this as a stop to tack up with a trim gun after the fact. So that's my idea. Hopefully that works. Hi.
Wait.
What you doing?
Oh, I'm just hanging out.
Just hanging out. Look.
Oh, it's also a carpentry lesson?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we just met Grandpa.
Oh, it's so humid out here.
It is humid. You got a sweater on.
Oh,
yeah, so that kind of was a big deal with painting all this material, is that we needed a place to allow it to dry and flip it over. And it just happened to be the most humid week of the year, even though it was like mid-November. It was just super wet everywhere. So it took forever to dry. But other than that, we just found a good place to paint outside because we didn't have a lot of space indoors. And then I just stacked it right here in the green room along with the Lexan until the day would come where we were ready to do the assembly. All right, this is the first step. We took the drums down, and that is the blueprint, the floor. All right, we got a corner up. We don't know if we made any mistakes yet, but that's okay. We'll find out soon enough. Look at that. We've got an arch right there. We got a drum cage. Look at that. That is gonna be looking good. And of course, I am horrible when it comes to trying to work and film at the same time. So I have no footage of it going up. But what we did is I got an L on that back wall, screwed it to a 2x4. So what we did is you can that Lexan glass, it's kind of like, it's polycarbonate. So you can drill through it with a drill. So I pre-drilled a bunch of holes, tried to clean all the stuff off the back. And then I just screwed the Lexan to the 2x4. And once I got it an L, it wouldn't go anywhere. It was rigid. And then I did the same to that big curvy piece. I don't even have anything here. So here's my little bendy glass piece. I screwed it to one edge while the guys were holding it, and then we just bent it over and screwed it to the other 2x4 I had to put there while we were holding it, and then go ahead and get another piece and screw them down. And I had little L brackets that I screwed those 2x4s down to the base plate that you saw, that thin OSB arc. And then we did the same thing to the top. You'll see. Look at this. The top is sitting up there. Let's look in here. At this side, this is where the door is gonna be. Oh man, yes.
See, we've got all this in here, and we've now got the roofing done. As you can see, we got this nice little video shape up here, pieces. Now I got all this inside, so very echoey right now, but we're gonna be working on the door in not too long here. It's starting to come together.
Okay, we're here with the door. We have a piano hinge over here about to install. I put some shims under it. We cut another quarter inch off this door, so hopefully it swings. All right, we need to unwrap some stuff. Let's start. Were we doing the inside first or the outside first?
Do the outside because you can't see.
Okay.
Inside is the actual unwrapping.
Well, on some of it. Yeah, on this one it is. You go on the inside and unwrap all the clear stuff. We'll do the white in a second for the big reveal. Look, I got safety glasses on. See, Katie? Another thing I wanted to say is that you can cut Lexan with a circular saw. I got a 60-tooth brand new blade, cut it perfectly. You can kind of see our cutting station there off to the side. Just make sure you do wear your safety goggles. You don't want to get that stuff in your eye. Oh yeah, let me get the door handle off here for you.
Static. There's so much static. Electricity can like shock someone by touching it.
Electro.
Yeah, here. Do you want a shock?
I do. Oh!
I'm telling you.
That's nice. That's real nice. Yeah, might as well. Let's do it.
Yeah, do it.
Oh,
That is good.
that looks fantastic.
That's nice.
All right, take the door off.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. Want you to wipe off the inside too? Or do we
Yeah, once we clean it,
blast it?
that is awesome.
That's beautiful.
I can't believe I envisioned it and then it happened.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, there's the door handle right there.
Here. Door handle right here.
There it is. Nice. Let's check our swing. Yeah, do that. Yeah, these things were definitely what's needed to carry all this glass.
Yeah.
I got a shim up right there
Yeah.
because we wanted to lift this. Magnets are gonna go there to suck that tight, hopefully. Hopefully that'll work.
Yeah, I could definitely tell. It's like so echoey in here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it sounds like dampened from the outside or not, but
Well,
Yeah.
good thing the carpet is here. Then we're gonna put soundproofing up here. But other than that, it is gonna be a little bit echoey, but that'll just bring a little bit of liveliness to our drums. What do you say? Yep. All right, right here we bought a roll of magnetic tape. And it worked pretty well. We pressed really hard. It worked on the door side, but that 2x4 side, it kept peeling off. The adhesive on the back just wasn't strong enough. So I ended up getting some super glue, and I super glued that tape to that 2x4 right there. Left it overnight, and it's been fine ever since. And now the door just works perfectly. The magnet, it just clicks tight, but it's not so tight that it makes noise when you open it. All right, yell. What? That's really good.
yeah. Hello!
It's probably really loud in there, but
It's so loud. Wait, you want me to make the camera over? I'm gonna do it the exact same volume.
Okay.
All right. Hello!
all right. I have not been good at recording, but I'm just buttoning up the trim up here. And right now, the guys are coming in today to put the drums in. So I'm soundproofing, also put this bar up here. We can get some better footage later, but this will be for hanging the lights and the overhead mics. So I still got to put some shoe mold around the edges, put a handle on, but other than that, it's coming together. Should be done today. One thing I decided to do was get this foam stuff. Just rip off little pieces because this isn't really fastened. It's just the weight of it is holding it down, and I didn't want anything to rattle. So it just kind of gives it a little cushion. I'm gonna cut this off and put my shoe mold around like I have right here on the bottom. I just want to point out that I used Velcro to be thicker than the heads. I'm gonna paint this edge and I'm gonna put another piece, there. So there'll be no white showing. That edge is painted and it'll cover up the screw holes and look real nice. And if I didn't say what this was, it's just like 3/16 PVC that bends really nice, takes paint really nice, and it looks really nice and it's easy to cut. And I'll just go around, cover these up. I'm gonna get thicker ones. This is just the thin one I had left over for up there. So I gotta go get more and paint more, and that's what it's gonna look like. All right, before the big reveal, I just want to say a quick thank you to Carter for all your help. And Richie, I didn't say your name, but you were in the video as well, helping me so much. Thank you, Dad, for helping me think through all the little details. And thank you, Open Door, for allowing me to do this project. I know it has worked so well. We've had it done a few months. It has helped the sound so much. I know I wasn't great at documenting the whole process, so if you have any questions, I will gladly answer those. Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.